Facebook. We are live. Let me set up my streams. Wait on my guest. Wait on my guest. Approve.
I can't hear you, Kurt. Can you hear me?
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. There we go.
Yep. Great. It was going to my Bluetooth. We're going to give it another couple of minutes, let people join on really quick. I'm so grateful that you were able to jump on at this really short notice. And I see you stay on the go. We about like me stay on the go.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna pull in here so I can give you my undivided attention, and we're gonna make it do what it do.
Make it do what it do. What's the weather like over there?
We dodged a snowstorm last night, but I don't think we dodging this one today.
Oh
About 20
Lord,
degrees.
y'all got snow coming?
Yeah, we missed it. That stuff that's turned Chicago up right now was supposed to be us too, but we missed it.
Oh wow, man, Lord. Well, I'm glad. I'm hoping you do miss it, man. Hoping it don't really mess nothing up there.
Yep. So we'll
Everything.
see. We're in the middle of a storm system now, so
Mm-hmm.
we'll see if it produces snow or not. But it's cold. You know,
Right.
just to give you an idea of what St. Louis weather is like and how fickle it is. Yesterday, it was 60 degrees. We went from 60 degrees to raining, tornado warning, and winter weather advisory all within about 12 hours.
Man, that's crazy. We say the same thing about North Carolina weather. We'll say at 8 o'clock in the morning it's 40 degrees. Then by noon it's 70, and then by it's thundering and it's raining. Then in the evening it's snowing, and then it's summertime again. We go through all the seasons in a day or two. It's
We
crazy.
do.
Um,
Yeah.
we want to welcome everybody for joining in. Type a one. Please type a one if you're watching this live for us, and share this out, because I got the financial health mentor, Mr. Cortez Springer, all the way from Missouri. Yeah, all the way out there.
St.
Enjoy
Louis.
the weather. I got him on this live with me today, and he's gonna break down some stuff. I contacted this gentleman first thing. Well, actually, probably less than 30 minutes ago, and asked him if he wouldn't do me a favor and jump on the live with me, because I've had a couple of business partners hit me up, and y'all know I do a lot of lives, and I try to train my team, about the benefits of working a business from home while you're working your job. So he was, and I know I jump on this gentleman's live all the time. He's always bringing out new information. He's quick to point
Hmm.
out, he might not be a billionaire now, but in his mind, he's a billionaire. He's just waiting for his accounts to catch up with him. So
Absolutely.
because he has the information, he can tell you how to break this thing down and how to actually, make the government pay your bills. And as I listen
Yeah.
to him a lot, it's just common. It starts to become common sense. They tell you that if you hang around successful people, if you do what successful people do, if you learn from successful people, you have no choice. Now, I listen to Mr. Springer all the time, the financial health mentor, break down a lot of things about how the government will actually pay your bills for you. So a lot of people need to understand this information. So I would ask everybody to share this information out to your team, share it out to the public. So because we have a holiday promotion going on that you can actually get your team started, blowing up, and teach them how to make the government pay for this business. Um, Teach the government how to pay for this business. So I'll give you a little bit of information about me. I do this business from home. What got me to want to do this today, family, is this because I pay a mortgage at home. My mortgage is over $2,200 a month, and my power bills in excess of $200 a month. But I like to see. I've heard of how they can actually help pay these bills, and then it dawned on me, man. A lot of people always say to themselves, and I know you get this all the time, Mr. Cortez. Hey, I just can't afford to run a business. I don't have the money to run a business from home. But I'm thinking to myself, you can't afford not to run a business from home if you're paying a mortgage, if you're paying a car note, if you got a cell phone. So in some of your trainings that you do in your academy, and then what you tell your team, how does the government? How can we tell people that the government would actually pay their bills for them? How does that work? Explain a little bit about to the people on what this means and how they can how it can benefit them.
Absolutely. You first have to start with helping people understand what a tax deduction is, because a lot of people are confused with a tax deduction, meaning that's money that they're going to get at the end of the year. So if I buy $1,000 computer for my business and I write that off, they're assuming that I'm going to get $1,000 refund check for Uncle Sam for paying it off. So first, that's not how it works, right? When
Right,
we
right,
say that Uncle Sam is going to pay your bill, what we understand is about every $1,000 in tax write-offs will equal about a $300 return in your pocket, right? So what that simply means is this: if I understand how this country is set up, meaning how you make your money in America is more important than how much money you make. And one reason that is because how you make your money determines how you're taxed. If you make your money with labor, then you are taxed the most, period. Now, you can spend your time fighting the system. You can spend your time hoping they write legislation to change it and all. Man, I'm done hating the game, and I spend more time learning how to play. Point blank, period. So I don't care about why it is this way. I understand that if I own land, if I own a business, or if I'm an investor, I get all the tax breaks. So what that means is I can open a business in my home and run that business from my home. Now my home becomes my primary place of operation. Just like I'm sitting in front of a Quick Trip gas station right now here in St. Louis. I had to go get me a kickstart. I've been up since about 5, ripping and running. But that primary place of operation for this this Quick Trip gas station means the amount that they pay for the land, the amount that they pay to have someone keep it clean, clean the windows, the amount that they pay the employees that work in there, the inventory that they stock, the inventory that people come in there and steal. Everything associated with running the business from this place, their electric, their Wi-Fi, because they have internet connections to run the credit card readers and all that stuff. All of that stuff is a tax write-off for that business. Well, guess what? My home office, where I operate my business, my principal place of operation is my home. So what does that mean for me? A percentage of my rent, a percentage of my utilities, a percentage of my internet bill, a percentage of my cell phone bills, gas, if I put a new roof on the place, if I have to put windows in, whatever I spend on that place is tax deductible to the degree of how much space I'm using in it to run my business. So I want everybody to do this for me really quickly. How much is your cell phone bill per month? I want you to give me the monthly bill in the comments. Then I want you to multiply it by 12 and give me the yearly bill, right? So I pay about $100 a month for cell phone bill with unlimited and all that kind of stuff, right? So obviously that's $1,200 per month per $1,200 per year, right? So how much do you pay per month? And then how much do you pay per year? Now, if you're like me, I use my cell phone bill probably 90% of the time for business. The other 10% of the time is my wife trying to catch up with me and check up on me. Where you at? What you doing? Bring me something, right? But 90% of the time I'm using my cell phone is for business, like I'm streaming live with Kurt on my cell phone. So that means 90% of the $1,200 that I spend on cell phone bill that I was going to spend whether I have a business or not is a tax write-off. You mean to tell me that for $35 per month, you will not start a business that you can operate from your home that will save you about $1,100 on one expense that you have for the year?
Just one.
See, just in my cell phone bill, remember what I said, roughly every $1,000 equals about $300 in a return to me. So my $1,100 that I'm going to write off in cell phone bill alone is going to bring back to me about $300. Well, my $35 a month equals about $450 for the year. Well, guess what? Just that one deduction has nearly paid for that whole thing, right? Now, that's just one bill. If I look at my utilities between my electric bill and my gas bill at my home, water and sewer, that might total about $400 per month. Multiply that by what? You multiply it by 12. 400 times 12 is 4,800, right? Is that right? Is my math right? 4,800 yep. per year. Right. Now, I don't use 90% of my home for my business. In fact, you can't do that. But I do use a good 20% of my home for my business. So if I do simple math, 10% of 4,800 is 480. So 20% of 4,800 is 960, right? Is my math right? So yes. Just by operating my home office, I get a $960 tax deduction, nearly another $1,000 for my utilities. So now I'm looking at another $300. So between my cell phone and my utilities that I get from my home office, I'm at $600 back in my pocket, right? Because those two deductions. So right. Now my home-based business, Uncle Sam has paid for me to run my home-based business for a whole year. Now we not even gonna get into, I put about 20,000 miles on my car for business. That's a $10,000 tax write-off there. Right. I travel the world teaching this stuff. So I probably spend, not the world, the country rather. So I probably will spend about $5 to $7 grand in travel expenses, conferences, hotel rooms, rental cars, all of that kind of stuff. So when you look at this thing and you see the benefits of having a home-based business, you cannot not afford to have one, man. It's really ridiculous that the type of business that I choose to operate has really messed people up in their head to where they can't think practically about the strategies that we teach. Now, I get it. We chose a network marketing model, which most people will call a pyramid, direct sales, scam, whatever. But I want you to go to the IRS website and search for the out for direct sales businesses.
Right.
Why do I want you to do that? Because if the IRS has an industry code for direct sales businesses, that means it's a legitimate business, or else they wouldn't have a code for something that's a scam. There is an IRS industry code for the direct sales industry, right? So so I get it that whatever your experience is with direct sales, you might not like it, but don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You may not choose a direct sales or network marketing business as your business strategy. You might bake the best cookies west of the Mississippi. Well, you better start baking some cookies and slap a label on that thing and turn it into a home-based business. So now a percentage of your rent or mortgage, utilities, travel when you go deliver those cookies, your Wi-Fi and internet because you got a website and you use social media to get the word out about your cookie. Listen, you will save $10,000 to $15,000 per year in tax write-offs and tax deductions just by having the business. That's not even the money that you're going to make in profit. So miss me with the I don't want to do what you're doing. I get it, but do something by way of a home-based business so you can stop overpaying Uncle Sam.
Let me ask you a question, Cortez. Now, because I heard you say something about, the $35 a month, that's a business expense, and I've had a lot of people tell me, oh man, it's going to cost me every month $35. I mean, what am I getting for that $35? And from what I've learned in this business, I've made a lot of money with this company and in this industry. I'm thinking to myself, first of all, that $35, just like you said, that's it in itself a tax write-off, correct? And then also the business model that my econ has come up with is $1 million. You can't get the type of training and the business tools that I would say we get, the website, any place else for $35. So when people say, well, man, I got to pay each month to run a business, I'm kind of leery as to why they would say that. And then also to touch base again, what you said about the scam part, I always direct people to YouTube and just say, hey, look, YouTube the word my econ, the business my econ, and then say IRS agent. And they can see videos of IRS agents who are in the business talking about it, so touch a little bit about, the benefits that we get with this company. The business model itself is worth more than $35 a month. That's less than $400 a year, but you're getting a $1 million business. Tell them about that.
Absolutely. Here's the catch-22 that we're in. We are in a financial education business, right? If you want to get into any type of business that you want to do long term and that's going to be sustainable, you want to be in what's called an evergreen business, meaning a business that has a customer base that constantly replenishes itself every single year. So think about this. When are they ever going to teach financial education in school? They're not. So all the college graduates, all the high school graduates, every single year, our industry replenishes itself. Now look at this. The financial services industry in America is $4 trillion per year industry, right? In America, it's 4 trillion. Out of the 4 trillion of the industry, the finance is probably a couple hundred billion. And in the education, you have credit repair, which is like 80 or 90 billion, right? So that is evergreen, constantly replenish itself with a customer base. It's 4 trillion a year in the US, 11 trillion worldwide. The financial section of 200 billion, and then the credit repair portion of that is about 90 billion. So we are in an industry as a financial education sector that has a tremendous upside. In this society, we've only been trained that there's only one education that you go pay for, and that's a college education.
That's right.
See, that's right. Our issue is I cannot sell you an education because you believe that the only place you should go and spend money on an education is a college or university. Well, let's look at a college or university education. You go 4 or 5 years without no ability to make money based on what you're learning. And it's your hope that when you get certified in that which you have learned, that you will be able to go and get a job in that field. Now, we know that the statistics say something completely. People who get those certifications end up working outside of their field, less money than they were. Therefore, they're having trouble even paying for that education that they got to get a particular job. So that education that you are paid tens of thousands of dollars for, and then you have this education that will put you in the first 7 to 10 days for 80% of the people. In addition to that, in your first month, you take that $200 to $600 and you're able to start paying off, able to start investing. You're able to start doing some very practical things from the education that you learn in your first month. You don't wait 5 years and hope you can use the education to get a return on that investment, right? So I like to say that my econ offers a PA education and personal financial success for about $400 per year. Go to your local state university and see what they charge you per semester, which is half a year, for a course on economics or finances. I guarantee you it's not $400.
Wow, man, you've said it. You put it out there, Cortez. I mean, and so I mean, I guess the bottom line is when you're telling people the education part alone is worth way more than $400, but what you do with that education can make you a millionaire. You know, it can make you a millionaire. Use it because, you know, and I've had a lot of people also, you know, say, well, listen, I'm just not good at selling something to somebody. I'm not good at going out here and trying to get people to buy something from me. And, you know, but what about the education part? I like to ask them, well, what exactly did I ask you to buy from me? You know, what did I say I wanted you to spend money, or I wanted to sell you? You know, I just want to educate people, you know, on what we do that can potentially change people's lives. People don't understand that they'll take $30, right? And they'll spend it at the store, and 10 minutes later, they have no clue what they spent it on. You know, they don't remember what they spent their money on, but they're a little hesitant to spend on investments on themselves. You know, I guess they don't understand that investing in themselves now can change the direction of their family. You know, so I like when I listen to you do your post, you break it down really, really simple for people to understand, you know, about what we do. And that's why I like connecting with you, you know, because you make it very easy to understand. You put it in layman's term for a fifth grader can understand it really. You know, so
and let me say this, Kurt. Let me say this real quick. Robert Kiyosaki has been teaching this for almost 30 years. Grant Cardone teaches this to his pupils and his students. There, Susie Orman and what's the other brother? Financial Peace University. These guys teach what we teach, but I guarantee you, you can't go and get into a Robert Kiyosaki program for $400 a year. You can't go and buy a Grant Cardone, Cardone University. That's a $12,000 course, and you don't get no one-on-one time, no personal coaching and mentorship from Grant. Right? You get the audios, you get the books, and you get the curriculum, and it costs you $5,000 to get into an entry-level program with Robert Kiyosaki to learn this very thing that you can learn here for $35 per month, $400 per year. So I want people to wrap their mind around. This isn't nothing new. This is tried and true. It's nothing new. I'm going to post later today a video that I put together, and I found Robert Kiyosaki on Oprah Winfrey show when she was back on Channel 5. See, this was probably about 20 to 25 years ago. He brought a gentleman on who was a firefighter, The gentleman said, hey, I followed Robert's advice. I got my taxes down and got a $300 pay raise on my job. Now, he said pay raise, but we know what that means in our terms. What firehouse is able to give one of its firefighters a $300 per year raise? He minimized his taxes through the W-4, got a $3,600 a year
Right.
increase, used that money to start managing his debt, and did his first real estate deal. See, Kiyosaki has been teaching this for years. Grant Cardone has got 4 on YouTube where he says, look at your W-4, you're overpaying your taxes, get that money back, get out of debt, and start saving money for your first deal, right? But you can't get with Grant Cardone for $35 a month. You just programs. The cheapest thing he's got is a free book that he gives away, and you pay shipping and on that. So the key is, I think what most people are doing, and the reason most people won't look at what we do, is because you can't unscramble eggs, Kurt. That's the reason people won't even look at what we do, is because you can't unscramble eggs. And here's what that means. The brain learns, it can never unlearn. So if I see a solution to my problem, then I'm responsible for making a decision based on that information. But if I don't see the solution at all, then I can continue to meander through life as if it's hard and I have to do to deal with my situation. See, and that's why people are hesitant to even take a look, because they're afraid that it might make sense. And if it makes sense, that means I have to do something with this information, because
You
I'm
said it.
fully responsible of that which I know and that which I don't know. But if I don't know something, I can always pretend. But once I see a solution, I see a strategy, I see a concept that could change my future, now the guilt starts to set in terms of, man, I know what to do, I'm just not doing it. And you have to ask her tough questions of yourself. Why am I continuing to let my family struggle? Are my kids worth me doing this? Is my wife, my spouse, worth me making some adjustments? Now that I know how the game is played, why am I still sitting in the stands instead of getting in the game? See, people don't want to deal with that, Kurt. So that's why they want to throw the word scam up before they even look at it, because once I see it, I have to take responsibility.
That's absolutely correct. You know, and I've had people tell me that. You know, I guess that takes me back to when we see, you know, when everybody we're making posts out on social media, talking to people, you know, and people will request information. They'll, you know, you'll make a post on your social media, on your video, and you'll get 100 requests for information. And as soon as you give them the information that they have to actually put forth some effort to change their circumstances, then, you know, it's like crickets. They don't want to do it. They don't want to make a change. They don't want to have to do anything, you know. So I get that a lot, you know. But why is it that you feel that we are afraid to try? Why do you feel that's the reason? Why is it that people are afraid to make a change, to put forth some effort that can change their life? What is holding us back? What is that brick wall, that glass ceiling that is holding us back from change?
Well, I mean, you asked a question, man, so I got to take it all the way back to the root, man.
Take it back. Take it back.
Really serious. I call it blackrophobia, right? That is the term acrophobia means I'm scared of heights, right? So
Right.
when I say black people's innate fear of ascending to new heights, not me physically being on a 3-story building looking down, but me ascending to new heights in my finances, new heights in my relationships, new heights in my success, right? It is a
Mm-hmm.
very real thing that we have to deal with. Dr. Joy DeGruy would call it post-traumatic slave syndrome. And what that simply means is there was a time in our very recent history where being successful could get us killed, right?
Right.
And
Right.
people do that. That's how I'm going to promote what it is that we do. There was a time in our very recent history that if I became successful, I could find myself hanging from a tree like strange fruit. And I think deep down inside, I think we still struggle with that. So let me stay below the radar. Let me just kind of ho hum my way through and let me just blend in with the crowd, because standing out at a point in our history got us in some serious trouble. So I don't think people are conscious of that, but I think that's the subconscious thing that's happening in people's head. So they subconsciously self-sabotage. So they have a good thing going, and because they can't believe that they deserve to have this going, they sabotage themselves and then blame somebody else for hating on them, or blame somebody else for not holding up their end of the bargain. Or they'll say, I joined this thing and it didn't work. My sponsor didn't reach out to me enough. I didn't get the proper training. So they self-sabotage because of a real innate subconscious fear of sticking your head or becoming head and shoulders above everybody else. And that's twofold. That is the fear that someone outside culture will cause problems for me if I raise my head above everybody else, as well as the fear that the people within my culture and community will cause me harm for being successful. So that is a very real psychological thing that we have to deal with in terms of becoming successful in any endeavor, not just financially, but any endeavor. And I guarantee you, anybody unsuccessful had to shake that off and just say, oh, well, if this is going to get me lynched, then get lynched. I mean, and not literally in
Well, you
today's
know what,
terms,
Coach?
but if this is going to get me ostracized,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
that's
I got this. I want to stop you on that
that's the
really
deep
quick.
stuff.
I want to stop you on
Yeah.
that really quick because I just had somebody post. I just had somebody post in the comments. I just had somebody post in the comments that if you have already been scammed out of your money, it takes more to convince you. I'm already struggling. I don't want to risk struggling more. See, that's the type of fear. That's the type of fear that holds us back. You know, we have, and most of the time, now not saying in this one person's case, but most of the time it's the fear because we've been told by somebody else that it don't work, or we have not done the research before we've gotten scammed. You know, and something I'm saying that in general, but in general that keeps a lot of us back. We've lost money before, so we're afraid to try again. But I'm quick to say I've lost money in several businesses before, but I'm not going to let that stop me from making $1 million. You know, like our coach Brian Bean told us. You know, he made $1 million, he lost $1 million, but he learned how not to lose $1 million again. You know, he learned from that. So we got to get over that fear of being scammed, put our research in, and then jump on board. Steve Harvey said, you know, you got to jump out of that airplane and build the parachute on your way down. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, I think there's two things. A healthy skepticism is good. A healthy skepticism is good. But a cynical skepticism will keep you broke. And to this point, I see the so it takes more to convince you. Good. That means this time you're going to do your due diligence and that you do your homework, and I applaud you for that. But in the same breath, the person says, I'm already struggling, I risk struggling more. And I would say to that person, if you don't do anything, that's exactly what you're risking. Because if you're already struggling and you don't do something radically different, you're going to continue to struggle, right? So I don't think that anybody struggle or at the place in their struggle where spending $28 for the chance to overcome those struggles, I don't think that's the straw that breaks the camel's back, right? I
Right. Right.
believe you could be in a position that you're struggling, but $28 could cause you to set back a little bit more. But it's, if you don't do anything, we know for a fact what's going to keep happening is you're going to struggle. But if you spend the $28 or the $35 or whatever it is that you're researching to get into, you know you at least have two options: to stay where you are or go beyond and do better and overcome your struggle. So that's what I would say to anybody who's been burned before. A healthy skepticism is important, but a cynical skepticism where you've closed your mind and you shut all the way down, close system mind. I can hold on to what I have, and that might be a good thing, but one thing that I can't do with this closed fist is receive anything else. So to keep on,
You are absolutely correct.
hold on to
You are
what you
absolutely
have, but you got to open your mind if you want to receive something else. So that would be my take on that. But yeah, I think healthy, I welcome healthy skepticism because it creates dialogue for us to really talk about what we have our hands on and how it can potentially help you. But if you have a cynical skepticism, then it's a waste of time for me to even try to convince you, right? Because he said, or she said, it takes more to convince, which I'm okay with that. I'm okay to build and develop a relationship with you so I can share with you unabashedly about what it is that we have, right? But if you
right.
have a cynical skepticism, and no matter what I say, you're not going to be convinced because basically you've closed your mind before we even had a dialogue, then there's nothing I can do to help you. That's an inside job.
That's right. That's right. You're absolutely right. Well, we've been on now for 30 minutes. I didn't want to keep people long, but I do want to get on one last topic here. And I know you can help the people with this, Cortez. Right now, it's the holiday season. I know you're going out there and going to spend all that money, all that infinity money with the family, and let me hold something. But here's the thing. How can right now starting a business, how can right now starting a business, how can people make some quick upfront Christmas cash in themselves? Wow, how am I gonna pay these Christmas bills? Well, I think I lost you. I think I might have lost them. I think I might have lost our coach. We might have lost him there. But anyway, really quick, this is Christmas time coming up, y'all. And first I want to say thank you to Coach Cortez Springer. I think we might have lost him. His signal might have went out because he's no longer on my live. So I'm trying to get him back. But this is Christmas right now, and we can show you how to make some really quick Christmas cash. Coming up right now. With our promotion going on. How many people know someone or one or two people that would start a business strictly on the strength of your relationship, on your strength of your friendship? How many people know someone that would start a business less than $30 on the strength of your friendship? See, that's where it is right there. And now you're making some upfront Christmas cash. So get back with the person that invited you to this live. We lost our guest speaker. I guess the signal went out. But get back with the person that invited you to this. Tell them you want to get some more information. You want to get started building a business where you can actually write off your mortgage. As I said, y'all, I pay a mortgage $2,200 a month, but I'm having the government pay $300 to $400 to $500 a month of that bill. I'm having the government pay a percentage of my cell phone, me and my wife's cell phone, our internet, our power, our gas, our car insurance, all these bills. So if I having the government subsidize those in deductions, like he said, for every $1,000, I can get $300 back, right? So if just me paying a mortgage, a car note, an insurance bill, a cell phone, or whatever, is saving me hundreds a month. Why wouldn't I want to pay $35 a month to run a business if it's going to save me hundreds a month? See, that's where people say, well, I can't afford. That's okay, Cortez. I know you lost the signal, brother. I know you lost the signal. But why wouldn't I want to start a business $35 a month to save hundreds in write-offs? See, that's what you have to understand. Get back with the person that invited you on this live. If you're coming through my timeline, get with me, and we'll we can get you this information. My coach is trying to get back on the live right now. I'm trying to add him back right now. We're going to see how that goes. Because we need everybody to share this information on your timelines. We need everybody to share this information on your timelines, because you can make some quick money and build a very sustainable business. Like you said, an evergreen business. Build a sustainable business that you can pass down for generations. Because see, one thing that we know that has been tried and tried is you cannot leave an inheritance to your children's children if you're living paycheck to paycheck. You cannot leave an inheritance. I'm going to say this again. You cannot leave an inheritance to your children's children if you are living paycheck to paycheck. You can't do it. So unless you have investments, unless you are creating what we call residual passive income, it's going to be impossible to leave an inheritance, right? So start a business now that the government is willing to help pay for, that you can pass down to your children, to your grandchildren, to your great-grandchildren. See, I don't have any millionaires in my family, but I will be the first millionaire of my family. I'm breaking the cycle of poverty. Now, when I say poverty, my family was well off, but I'm going to put it to the next level. I'm taking it to that millionaire status. And that's what we should all be thinking. We should all be trying to figure out a way. If we're not born with a silver spoon in our mouth, if you weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth, if you weren't born a millionaire, you should be looking for ways to take your family's finances to the next level. Why? Because the more income you bring in, the more you're able to give, first of all, to the kingdom. The more you give, the more God's going to prepare. See, he says that he's going to prepare a table before you. He says that your cup is going to runneth over. See, the overflow. We're talking about the overflow now. We're talking about the overflow. So right, we actually have to create income. See, God gave us the ability to create wealth. Oh, no. I just brought on another one of my business partners, Miss Martina Britt Yelverton, my branding specialist. She's been trying to get on.
What's going on, Coach Kirk? Can you hear me?
Go on with Cortez on the line. I don't know. It wouldn't let me add you while I had him there, too. He lost his signal.
Right.
He lost his signal. So now I brought you on. So we were talking. I know you were on the line. We were talking about, how the government actually helps to pay your bills running this business. What's your thoughts about that?
Why not? I mean, if
2 words, right?
subsidize what you already do, why not? And if you actually look past it and let it bypass you and don't implement this strategy, then you must be okay struggling the way that you are currently struggling. You must not actually, seriously be looking for an answer to that prayer, because we've answered it.
Right.
I mean, I just don't understand that. Why pray for something and then when it shows up, regardless of what form it shows up in, it shows up and you don't take a look at it because, like you said, you're cynical. Or like Coach said, a cynical person versus a person who actually being a caution.
I think I might have lost you too, Martina. I think.
Saying that it's trying to connect. Am I back? Okay, I think I'm back now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Victor was saying, do your research, but don't take too long to do your research. What does Brian Bean say? How does he say? He says, speed up, but slow down.
Be,
Like, speed up,
no,
hurry up, and do your research with advantage of the opportunity.
He said, hurry up. He said, be patient. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you got to understand that, people.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take a brain scientist, a rocket scientist to do this. It does not take a brain scientist, a rocket scientist. It does not take all of that to do that. It's a very simple situation. Whether we're talking about the promotion for $27.95, whether we're talking about the $47.90, or whether we're talking about the $199 when others came in, it doesn't matter. Take advantage of the opportunity of a life, the opportunity. Period. Point blank. Without question, without doubt.
Right, right, right. So now you are the queen of the cash flow manager, and y'all, the cash flow manager is what we use to make the government pay our bills, to keep our records. How do you just give us a little bit of information on the cash flow manager, how you use that to to keep up with your expenses and things.
Okay, put it there to show up to your CPA with a box of your receipts from all year long and get charged, an extra $99 to go through all that. And I'm just throwing that number out there. Or would you literally show up and maybe you send actually a spreadsheet or a login set of information to your CPA and you pay the base rate and get the maximum amount of return? Okay, so with our cash flow manager, the amazing thing about it is that everything you do on a regular everyday basis, you are now able to digitally record. So if you're out to eat, if you're having dinner, you're having a business meeting or something like that, the entertainment portion is gone, but coming back if it's not already back. So if you're already sitting there prospecting your waiter or waitress or the people who are at the next table that may have inquired about a sticky note that you had on your laptop because you're sitting there working, you're literally prospecting, especially if you go with the mindset of I'm like Ivy said, he would leave his home with the mindset, I'm bringing home 10 people today. So if you're out bringing home 10 prospects or 10 numbers today, and that is your mindset, and you're sitting down to a meal, open up our cash flow manager, take a picture of your receipt, right? And write it off. Okay, so the mindset of if you have the internet, right? You have the internet. You have to have the internet to run our business, whether it's on your mobile device or whether or not it's in your home. You have to have the internet. So each month that you pay that $45, sometimes $99 internet bill, you have the opportunity to take that bill, take a snapshot of it, put it inside your cash flow manager, and write the entire bill off. You cannot run our software without the internet. So there's another. Take that $45 to $99 and multiply it by the 12 months a year you already pay for internet. Now you can write that off. You can take a portion of your home that you dedicate as your office space or as your presentation area, your showroom area, and you are literally available to write that square footage off on your mortgage or your rent that you pay every single month. Multiply that times 12. So you're worried about a $27.90 decision or a $35 monthly decision. You're worried about $400 a year, and you're not paying attention to the $4,000 a year that you actually are saving. It's $400 decision.
People don't get that
Decision versus a $4,000 benefit.
That's crazy. People don't understand that. But you know what? We're going to come back. We're going to be doing another one at 3:30 this afternoon, right? Millionaire Mondays, and we're going to be talking about the money that you can make from this
we're
business,
supposed to be,
really quick for Christmas, right?
Absolutely.
Is that the deal today? We're going to be doing that?
We did the cap. We looked at it.
Okay, great. So
we're going to be doing that today at 3:30, whether I'm out traveling or whether or not I'm back at the house. We'll do it 3:30.
Okay, great. Great, because we've been on this live now almost an hour, so I want to thank everybody for jumping on this thing. We're going to be back at 3:30, myself and Coach Martina Britt Yelverton, to talk now about the business and how you can make some really quick upfront cash within the next 2 to 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, with this holiday promotion that MyAcon has going on right now. Literally starting your business and just sharing the information again and she's going to be teaching you how to write stuff off in her trainings once you start on board with us. She's going to teach you how to start writing off and keeping track of your expenses. She's very good at that. Go ahead and put a plug in for your turbine, Martina, because Apostle.
Okay, let me put a plug in, you guys. You know your girl is multi-talented. She is multifaceted and multi-talented, and she has a crochet gift. So Apostle, this is actually a what they call a scrunch slouchy, and I crochet as well. So I crocheted it myself. Thatcrochetchick.com will bring you to my Facebook page where you can see more of my crochet designs. Shameless plug. Thank you, Coach.
Again, we want to thank everybody for jumping on. Join us back again at 3:30, and we're going to show you seriously how to make some serious cash up front. Get paid every week, but to make some serious money up front, start buying them Christmas presents, because we do like Christmas presents, holiday presents, however you want. You know, we want to help you get some of that cash to pay these bills, because I know a lot of people who are still paying off Christmas bills from last year. So let's change that right now.
Woo!
Join us back at 3:30. Join us back at 3:30 on our Facebook Live, on my page here, on Martina Brittany Elverton's page again. And we're going to show you how to make this upfront money. So once again, thank you, everybody, and we'll see you back at 3:30. We want everybody to like and share. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.